Let's take a look at the 2019 Riot 5 bass from Schecter Guitars. Okay, so let's check it out. Go over it a piece at a time, and then we'll do the electronics separately because there's a lot to cover. So first up is bodywood. Like they have on a couple of the recent models, like the Apocalypse and stuff, they've gone with swamp ash, which is really kind of winning me over. It's becoming a favorite bodywood for me because it not only looks pretty great, but it's a nice compromise in between weight and tone. It's got really great note definition, and I've never picked up a swamp ash body that was just too heavy. So, yeah, I think it's a really good choice for them, and it's working out, especially on body shapes like this. Uh, Now, continuing with that, they're also using what they've done with some of the bolt-ons in some of the other models is this 5-bolt system, which sets the neck pretty deep in there, and it also starts to imitate the feel of a neck through by having this downward slope and allows more carve because you've got it so solidly locked in there. It really is, it's dead on. The neck isn't moving anywhere. On the neck, we've got maple with walnut stringers. It's a good bright sound, and it's a nice look. It's a good choice for the back of it, and this brown kind of complements the green going up. Got the burl top. I kind of like this one. I'm not sure what the name of this one is. I know one was called Aurora Burst, or I think it's Aurora and Inferno Burst. There's also like an orange flamed kind of looking one. Both great looking. I kind of prefer the purple. Ebony fingerboard and the offside dots. Again, something they've been doing more common lately. I think that really helps out on a 5-string, having it out from the center, because if you've got them going up the center of the neck like you usually would, that center string covers it. So having them to the left and right as you go up, that's very cool, and it definitely helps out with visibility. Now, you got the matching headstock up here, and when it comes to the hardware for these models, it looks like they've gone back to using a just solid black. They used to use kind of a smoke chrome somewhere in between black and chrome, and that looked good on the models they used on, but I think this one just fits these, the Riots, and I'm glad they went to a solid black option. Really, going with the pickups and the neck wood and the ebony, ties it all in cosmetically, just a really, really good looking bass. Now, when I did the unboxing video, a couple people asked me about the balance, and that was one of my first concerns. I've always really liked the Riot shape ever since I first saw them a number of years back, but one of my concerns was also because you've got such a smaller contoured body and most of the weight centered in one area, that it might not have that great a balance. But you can see, just grabbing from this point, the balance is there. It's dead on. I got to play a show with this recently and pop on a strap and let my hands go, and it was great. Just stayed right where it was put. So even though it's got this kind of deep scoop in the center and everything, the balance point is excellent. You don't have to worry about the headstock swinging for the ground or anything. The balance is just really dead on. So that covers it for the options on the body and everything. Let's get into these electronics because there's a lot here. Okay, so getting into the electronics. This is something new that's in the, I believe, just this model, but something new from EMG, and that's we've got a pair of PJ setup like they've had in some other bases, but this is a different series. They're the X series with the new preamps inside the pickup, the X series preamps, but these are the CS series with the X preamp. So you've got the PX CS and the JX CS. When I talked to Tommy at EMG and he kind of gave me the breakdown on these, it's supposed to keep that traditional EMG sound and the one that we've all come to know, but also to give it a bit more thickness, a bit more richness, and try to add a bit more punch, warm up while still giving that active kind of quality or that active clarity. So trying to get the best of both worlds, the warmth and depth of a passive pickup, but that clarity and sharpness that you would normally expect out of something active. And I think they pretty well hit the mark. I was really surprised that I would like these more than I kind of thought I would. Not that I doubted anybody, but I've always really liked the traditional EMG P sound. I especially like the X series. So I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about them, but really great stuff. The other is that you've got the B30 series preamp in it. You've got bass, mid, and treble controls, and although I don't usually use a lot of onboard preamps, I would rather do it at the amp or something. This is the first time I've really found a preamp and pickup setup that I really find useful, that I can see myself making small adjustments here and there as I need them. The real standout to me, and we'll get into it in a minute, is the mid knob. It's centered at about, I think, 900 hertz. Adds some real grunt and thickness to the character of these pickups. So it was really a great choice. I can tell they really put some time into matching up a great set that also the warmth of this bouncing out of the naturally enhanced kind of upper tones in the swamp ash body and the brightness of it. It's perfect. It levels out right in the middle, so you get all the clarity and the depth without it getting muddy or it just becoming too dark. So let's solo these pieces out one at a time and check out what we've got. So at center, with everything just set flat, you heard that all the way through the video. So let's check out just the neck pickup soloed on its own. Really like this P sound. It's almost lending into a classic Fender style kind of thing, but it's just got a bit more clarity and some more grunt to it. There's just more punch to it. Definitely more depth. So rolling back to the rear jazz pickup. So again, what you come to expect from the EMG-J, but it's a little rounder to me. It doesn't have quite that really sharp extended high that maybe the standard J does. And again, a bit more punch, a bit more throaty kind of sound in there. Now going on to the preamp, center. You see, it actually has a usefulness all the way at each extreme, even all the way up. You've got that, you've got an attack, but it's not so harsh that it's unusable. You could use that to cut through pretty easily. And then back here. Rolled out. Again, clarity and a little bit more of a mid honk. And then this is the mid center, which again, 900 hertz. I really like this one. If you listen to it again, everything's centered out. Bring that in. I keep that one almost up all the time when I use it outside of just doing a flat demo. Really cuts directly through a mix. I tried it again during the gig that I did, and as soon as I pulled this through, it cut right through the center of the guitars. But you also don't get extended treble or lose your bass at the same time. To me, that's an always on feature. And if you cut it out, gives you that, if you really need to go for a sub bottom or a more subtle part or lay back, this to me, just using this knob, you could cover almost every needed situation in a gig, or, you know, pull the mids up, cut through, cut forward, pull them out, do something more subtle, a little bit more dynamic, or roll back a little bit. A really, really useful and great choice for this one. So again, big thanks to Tommy at EMG for going over all this so I knew what to expect and how to kind of dive into this and get a better explanation going for it. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up on this one. As far as something being at a great price point, a bolt-on neck, which I'm not always a fan of. I really like their neck-through offerings, but this one surprised me in that I don't have a feel difference. Getting all the way up here to the very top frets and everything is no problem. It feels like a neck through to me. It's that solid. The sound is really great. And again, I'm really liking these EMGs more than I probably thought I would. I'm probably going to wind up outfitting a couple other basses with these and dumping what I got in there because it's just that good of a tone. So yeah, I really don't find much I can, poke at or find a problem with. I think they got a real winner on their hands here. I know it's been really popular and a lot of people were waiting for this to come out, and I don't think it's going to disappoint anybody. So, as always, link to this one directly in the description. And since they're shipping now, if you grab one, let me know your thoughts. Toss me out any clips or demos that you've done. I'm always kind of interested to see what kind of sound combos everybody comes up with and your thoughts and impressions on it. Any questions or things that you wished I would have covered in here or I can answer for you in the comments, drop them in below too. That's going to do it for this one. I'll see you on the next one.